What's up, everyone, and welcome back. Part 3. I ran and grabbed the book. This is the My Incredible Life as the Hulk by Lou Ferrigno. And I actually texted my fiance, I was like, how much was this thing again? It was $30 for the book. But as you can see, it's the revised edition. On the inside, it actually says to Rick, Lou Ferrigno. He signed it. And it was actually a pretty good book. I read the whole thing. Um, Basically, it's all about Lou Ferrigno's life and how he got the part of the Incredible Hulk. It's got tons and tons and tons of pictures, as you can see. It's got Lou Ferrigno hanging out in his trailer. He mentioned that he had to have the trailer ice cold at all times, like freezer cold because of the paint that he had. The slightest bit of sweat would ruin all the makeup. And they had said that the hours and hours it took to put all the makeup on, I guess that would make him angry. But yeah, here's another creepy photo with Bill Bixby with the contact lenses. If you want me to do a thing on this book, let me know and I'll show you. They actually had a thing in here where it shows a letter that he had gotten. Oh, here it is. That for when Lou Ferrigno got married, they gave him the music to the Incredible Hulk that he walked down with, I guess. But very cool indeed. Now on to the part where I wanted to discuss about originally, well, besides the thing, but we're having fun. I hope everyone's enjoying the videos. Gotten a couple questions from friends asking about, stuff like the collection video I made, uh, which was interesting. One of my friends like, how the hell did you get, all these great comics? How'd you get, like this book, and how'd you get that book? And I can't get deals and stuff like that. I've been looking for a year now, and I can't get anything. Let me tell you, it takes a long time. Because my friend also was like, I've been watching a lot of the videos of the people that you watch, and everyone's got all these great collections, and my collection sucks, and stuff like that, and a lot of things. But let me tell you, I told him this over the phone too. I was like, dude, I was like, it takes a long time. I was like, I did not get that collection overnight. The collection I had that you've seen, um, which I'm going to show you a few in a moment, just interesting prices, show you. But the collection I have, like I said, and the people on YouTube that show their collections, they did not get it overnight. I'm making. I told my friend I was going to make the video and talk about it as well. So it's for you too. He knows who he is. Nobody gets a collection overnight. I mean, I know three people that started out, and they've had a lot of, I'm going to say, beginner's luck with certain things, um, which I'll talk about that too. But like I said, majority, especially like I said, majority of the people on YouTube, for the videos he watched, can't remember who he said he watched. I think I know he said he watched Captain Strangelove, but it's taken years and years and years, decades to get that kind of a collection. And a lot of times, like Captain Strangelove got the books when they came out. Same thing with me. A lot of the majority of my collection upstairs, I got them when they came out. When I was, when I started collecting when I was a kid, in the '80s, a lot of those books came out, and I would grab them because I thought the covers were cool, and I was just getting into, I wasn't really a collector. I was just kind of like, hey, that's a cool book. I'm gonna grab that one, see what that one's about. And I'm gonna grab that one, and I was into Spidey, but I wasn't like hardcore Spidey like I guess I am now, and um, I guess I'm more focused on that because it used to be, it still kind of is in a way, but my collecting is just kind of like, all over the place. I kind of reined it in and focused on like focus. You must focus on Spider-Man. It works sometimes, but anyway, yeah. But it's taken me decades to get what I have up there, and wait and wait and wait and save and save and save, and then all of a sudden like, hey, oh, I found it for a good price, or even at conventions when I was able to fill my Spider-Man 300 run with the McFarlane covers, McFarlane books in general. You know, Conventions help. Like I said, you talk people down. A couple books I think were like $15, $20. I'm like, would you take 10? Would you take 8? Stuff like that. And yeah, I'll take it. And you gotta do that. You gotta do it. You gotta negotiate. But yeah, I told my friend, like I said, and the same thing on this video, and to everyone out there watching this, it takes a long time. I mean, like I said, there are a few people I know that beginner's luck. One friend of mine, I'm amazed. I'm amazed. I'm happy for him. I am. But a little part of me is just like, wow, really? You know, you lucky bastard. He had gone to a flea market, and there was a guy with a small thing of comics. He had like, I think like two short boxes and one long box, and they were like almost completely empty. And all the way in the back of the long box, like it was tons of crap he was saying, and he just started getting into comics. And I told him a few things to look for, you know, because we were watching The Walking Dead. And he's like, I like The Walking Dead. I was like, well, you know, if you ever find number one, you know, that's, you know, a holy grail book. What does he do? He winds up finding the damn thing. All the way, the last issue of the guy's long box was The Walking Dead number one. And he grabbed it. He didn't even know, you know, about second printings or anything. So, because I was like, it's got to be a second printing. You know, why would a guy sell it? He got it for $2. You know, the guy's just like, I want to get rid of my comics, you know, whatever. And, you know, obviously the guy didn't know what he had, you know, or maybe he thought he had a second thing. And my friend calls me up. He's like, dude, I got to walk into number one. I'm like, oh. I was like, what'd you get? Second printing, third printing? I was like, you know, variant. He's like, no. He's like, it's number one. I'm like, I know. I was like, but what? You know, he's like, no. He's like, I think it's the original number one. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. I was like, how much you pay? He's like, $2. I'm like, it can't be the number one. And he sends me these photos, and it was the original number one. And I'm like, dude, you lucky son of a bitch. And I was like, put that thing in a bag and a board if it's not already, and put it in a safe. And he's like, what? I was like, that thing's worth a lot of money right now. I was like, and the condition he had in it was it looked perfect to me. I didn't see anything wrong with it. I was like, wow, man. So there's that case that, you know, but that doesn't always happen. I mean, I've had a few times where I've had like Holy Grails pop up in my face, and I'm like, you know, but you know, I have gotten a few books that I personally wanted that were my Holy Grails um, for a pretty good price, so I was happy, you know. And like I said, in the long run, it comes down to your collection. You do what you want. If you know, find a book and it's $700 and you think that it's worth it, and it's something you really, really want, you have the money, go ahead. You know, hey, it's up to you. If you don't want to wait, you know, like if you waited years, you know, I've been waiting, you know, 7 years to get this book, and this is the cheapest I've seen it, you know, and you go ahead. I'm not saying don't do that. I'm saying it's your collection. Do with it what you will. You know, however it is you're going to collect, collect. Um, and like I said, this is what another thing that's interesting. And I'm gonna try to go into something else as well. It's gonna be a long video. Um, this I found interesting. This is my Black Cat number one variant by Campbell, J. Scott Campbell. It's 9.0. People are going nuts over J. Scott Campbell covers. This I had gotten. I think it was $10. I think I paid $10 for it, and it was like I think like $10 shipping or something like that. So $20 altogether. I'm can't really remember, but I know it wasn't expensive. I saw a 9.8 version of this going for $600, and people were bidding on it. $600. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Then I out of curiosity, I'm like, you know what? Let me see if I can find this thing. And I found two 9.0s of this exact book, and the minimum price I saw was $350, and people were bidding on it. I was like, wow. So interesting. You never know what book is gonna, you know, suddenly become popular, or, you know, whatever. Um, like I said, just going the questions of answering them as I can. Uh, for instance, like certain books, like what is it, the X-Men Annual number 14, which is like the now everyone's considering that's Gambit's first appearance. When I don't know. I mean, 266 used to be the money book because that was his, you know, his first full thing. Like, you know, he actually did things. Whereas in X-Men 14, it's just kind of like, this is Gambit. That's it. You know, that one little panel, Gambit. And I don't want to get into a war over it because that it's like the black suit. You know, what was the first appearance? What was, you know, this? You know, the true first appearance and all this crap. And not the point. But it's just amazing that now that people consider, man, my nose is really itchy. I'm going to definitely get into a fight. Well, it's actually, no, it's not. Well, technically, it'd be my fiance and our anniversary today, the first. If you go by months, which we don't do anymore, we just go by years. But usually, whenever the first rolls around, we always get into some kind of a tiff. So that's probably what's going to happen. But anyway, with Gambit, now that people consider that his first appearance, that book has gone through the roof. I know Bishop's first appearance is now going up again because of the movie, all that stuff. It's nuts. It's crazy. And I remember I saw this too. like I said, I'm going to show a couple things here. Interesting. Uh, Amazing Spider-Man 238, which is the first appearance of the Hobgoblin. This actually has the tattoos inside. It's an 8.5. Um, I saw this going on eBay without the tattoos for an 8.0, $400. Just like, oh, Jesus. Yeah, I'm sitting there and I'm like, yes, but then I'm like, I'm not gonna sell it. And then if I did turn around and sell it, I'd probably get like 50 cents for it. That'd be my luck. I'd put a 99-cent bid and one person to bid on it, and that'd be the end of it. Get a reserve. Yeah, well, yeah. But it's just amazing, like prices of things lately. And I was mentioning to my friend yesterday. Actually, it was funny because I said to him, I was like, it's. He was talking about. Actually, my friend Richie was talking about this too, which is really interesting. Um, he had mentioned like, oh, every time I try to go for a certain thing, that's when it goes up in price, and then I'm paying top dollar for it. And I was like, you know what, dude? I was like, that's the exact same thing with me. A lot of times, like, I can come up with the most random comic, of all time. Just I'm like, I want New Warriors number 15, just out of nowhere, and go on eBay at $75, $85. I'm like, yeah. And then you forget about it, and then you'll look on it, like you'll randomly put stuff on eBay, and then all of a sudden you'll see, the same damn book for $1.20, and you're like, there you go. So patience is a key when it comes around, and I know I was watching Hero Hunter's thing when he was saying that, you like to hunt for the comics, which is another cool thing to do. But me, not that I've gotten lazy, it's just that there's just nothing around here that I can really go to hunt the books down. Uh, but I used to enjoy that too, so I know what that feels like. And I mentioned to my friend Richie, because he was saying like, oh, the when you walk into a comic book store, you kind of feel at home, and you're like, I was like, I'm gonna tell you, man. I was like, you have no idea what it was like to walk into a comic book store in the '80s. It was amazing. Like you walk in, you got that book smell. You're like, everyone knows what I'm talking about. Those who've gone to comic book stores in the '80s, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it just doesn't. It kind of has it in comic book stores now, but not as good as it did in the '80s. Where you're just like, interesting thing. I had a friend of mine, like I said, had saw a video when I showed this, and apparently his friend had watched the video and made me an offer on this, and I was just kind of like, nah. Incredible Hulk 181, Wolverine, which I'm not going to do that whole thing either. This is the first full appearance of Wolverine, so technically 180 is his first appearance, because that's what it says on all the cards and everything. But this is supposed to be like the money book, but now 180 is going up. This is a 1.8, like I've shown before, because it's missing the Marvel stamp. And that's pretty much, I mean, other than it's got a pretty crazy scuff mark on the Hulk's elbow. Other than that, the book is actually in really good shape. It's just that, and I guess missing the stamp was what gave it a 1.8. It probably, if it had the stamp, it'd probably be a 2.0, maybe even a little higher. But a friend of mine, his friend had saw it and said, "Oh, I've been wanting that book, for a long time." And he had sent me a message, and I never met the guy. I never met him before in my life. He's like, I'm a friend of, and he sent it on Facebook, which, you know, um, I had told him on Facebook, and I'm gonna say it here too. I was like, I appreciate the offer. I was like, but I'm not gonna sell it, because he actually offered me $200 for it, for this thing, and I was like, to me, like I said, this is a low grade copy, but this is a book like him that I've wanted, since when I started really getting into comics. Let's just say 1990. Actually, that really is when I started really getting into comics. Late '89, '90 is when I really went hardcore as a kid. You're like, oh, I want to get that, I want to get that, and Wolverine. I was just like, that is a great book, and I never had the money to buy this book, ever. And every year it would go up, and it would go up and up and up, and I'm like, oh my god. And then I remember one time when I was 17. My friend and I went to a mock time for the first time. He had passed it by. He was going to the gym all the time, and he's like, dude, it says a comic book store. He's like, you want to go one day? I was like, yeah. We went in, and the first thing I saw was Incredible Hulk 181 in a case, and they wanted $500, and I was like, and me, the real problem was in 90. I'm sorry, it was 90. 98. It wasn't 97. It was 98. Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm trying to think. I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, it was 98. Um, all the times, like I used to work for my father in construction. I made a little bit of money here and there, and then I didn't want my friends ever to feel envious in a way. I guess I don't know because a lot of my friends were working, certain jobs, and they weren't making as much as I was making in a day. But I kept telling my friends, I'm like, I'm doing construction. I was like, it's hard work. I was like, and it's my father. I was like, so he's gonna pay me, money. I was like, when he did, and I was like, I'm not guaranteed my money. I was like, it's not like I get a paycheck. I'm getting, whatever. Um, so my friends were like, all right, yeah, because everyone, when I was a kid, my friends were like, how do you have this? How do you buy that? How did you buy this sword? How'd you get this? How'd you get that? How'd you buy this video game system? How'd you, we don't see you ever work. I'm like, I work weird hours and whatever. And that was one of the reasons. But then when I graduated from high school, this is gonna go into the mock time thing, so don't think I forgot about it. When I graduated high school, my friend had got me a job landscaping in East Williston, and I was making like friggin' like $500 a week, you know, or was it 2 weeks? Yeah, 2 weeks. Sorry. So I was making like $1,000 a month. Um, for a kid just turned 18. Actually, no, I was still 17. You kind of like was I 17? No, I was 17 or 18. I don't know. No, I was 18. I'm sorry. I'm losing it. When you're still 18, you're like, oh my god, I'm making a fortune. And I was saving the money and saving the money, and I think I had like 8 or 9 grand. I was like, by the time I was like almost done with the job, because it was only a seasonal thing, so it was from when did I think it was like from I started in July, July something, July to I actually was July to New Year's, not New Year's Day, the yeah, I can't talk. January 2nd, the day after New Year's Day was my last day. Um, but I had like and there was a comic book store, like Grasshopper Comics. I was going to, I was picking stuff up. Every now and then I'd take my lunch break, and I bought that Crow statue you saw, and I bought the first appearance of Harry Osborn as the Green Goblin. Um, but I had the money, and then like I said, I wasn't full into comics again. Like I took a huge break from '95, end of '94 through '98. I was just kind of like not into comics because I had a lot of other things going on, and I was buying video games, I was buying TVs, I was buying like all this stuff, and I was giving my parents money and all these things, and so when we first rolled around to Mock Time for the first time, if I had saved my money, I definitely would have bought the Incredible Hulk. But I had, I think, like maybe $20 to my name when I walked in there. And I was like, wow. And the guy came over and he's like, oh, we have layaway. And I was like, and I was like, it'll take me, forever to save that kind of money again, or even enough to get that. And even the guy, he even tried to work with me. He's like, I'd let it go for 400. And I'm like, yeah, I was like, I can't. And that was the closest I ever got to actually seeing it in the wild, as they say. But then, of course, like I said, 20 years later, I was actually able to get it, and I'm extremely happy with it. I know it's a low grade, but I still have it. That's what I keep. You know, I look at it, I'm just like, I have Incredible Hulk 181. I have, and it's CGC. So it's encased, so it's not going to go bad or rot or whatever. And yeah, I'm gonna actually make this video a little longer than the other ones because there's just a lot of more things I want to talk about. But the other question I had gotten, it's not a question, it was more of a statement. And I mentioned this, and I just mentioned in this video, and I mentioned before. It's your collection, do what you want with it, but also be happy with what you do with it. And never, never compare yourself to somebody else, especially with their collection, because you're gonna drive yourself insane. Like I said, my friend, he started about, I'm gonna say about 2 years ago that I was mentioning, like he kept asking how did I get so much stuff, great stuff, which I appreciate. Um, but he's like, I get so pissed off because I see all these great things. I'm like, and I said to him, I said flat, I was like, you can't do that, man. You can't compare yourself, because when you do, you're gonna drive yourself nuts. I mean, honestly, when I watch YouTube videos, a lot of the guys out there, and I watch girls, um, a lot of my stuff that I do have upstairs too, I've gotten because I've seen on your videos. I'm like, oh, that's a cool comic. I didn't know that existed, and I'd look it up and be like, oh, that's not a bad price, and I'd wait and I'd get one, and I'm like, ah, I got it. I'd show you, of course. Um, So I told my friend, I was like, that too. I was like, a lot of stuff I have upstairs like is because I watch YouTube, and I watch the videos, and I'm like, that's an interesting book. I like that. I like that cover, and that's a lot of the stuff I have upstairs. But I said to him, I was like, I don't compare myself to anybody because it's not worth it. I mean, if I was to compare myself to Captain Strangelove, you know, I'm amazed with his collection, and he knows that is probably like the greatest collection I've ever seen. And I don't compare myself. I just think he's a cool guy, and I like talking to him and messaging him and watching his videos. And I'm not gonna be like, oh, I wish I had that. Which obviously deep down, I'm like, I wish I did have that. You bastard! No, I'm kidding. But I don't compare myself. I'm not saying like, oh, you know what I did? I went out and I got this. I got this because Captain Strangelove has this, and I got this because I want to, I got it. Everyone sucks now because I got this. No, I got that book because I've been wanting that book since I was a kid, and I got that book. I found it for a good price, and I said, hey, you know what? Again, it's my collection. Do what I want. That's a fair price. I'm willing to pay. I bought it, got it, never looked back. I'm like, hey, you know what? Maybe down the line I'll upgrade, but I'm happy with that. I never bought or buy anything just to prove to somebody or to rub it in somebody's face. And if that I come off like that on videos, let me know because I don't mean to do that. I know a lot of times I get excited on certain things. I'm like, oh my god, I got this. But hey, that's that's how it goes. When you're happy to get something like I remember, I had gotten this. I was amazed. I got this so cheap. The Omega Man #3, which is the first Lobo. I was like, oh my god, and I got it. I was like, woohoo! um, but yeah, I try not to come off as like a douche where I'm like, yeah, I'm better than you. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not better than anybody. I'm extremely happy with the stuff I have. Which is interesting because most recently I started really kind of reflecting on my collection. I'm like, wow, I was like, I really actually have a pretty damn cool collection. It's not as great as other people's, but I'm fine with that. Like I said, I'm not, out to prove anything. I'm out to get the stuff I want to get because I want to have it. I want to have it in my collection. And like I said, a lot of times I will watch videos, but that's a cool issue. Maybe I'll try to find that. And sometimes when I look at some of them and I see the price, I'm like, no, maybe I'll wait on that one. But yeah, just from the bottom of our people, don't compare yourself to anybody else because it will drive you insane, especially if you really get like take it to heart and you're like, oh, that guy's got so much better stuff than me. I must be a loser. You're not. You got to take your time. And like I said, everyone, if you ever watch any of the videos, especially my friends, I told them make comments. I was like, hey, make a new friend. I was like, they'll tell you the same thing. It took them a long time to get that collection. It wasn't, I have that. It's not like that. When you're a comic book collector in general, not only is it cool for the thrill of the hunts, like Hero Hunter had said, um, and to get great deals and stuff like that. It actually is a lot more fun to go out and look for them. But like I said, I just don't have the way to do that now. But it takes time and patience. It really does. I mean, a lot of people are like, it doesn't. I just go on eBay and I click. True, but if you're really looking to get a deal on something and really kind of get your mind into it, it takes time. And you sit there and be like, hey, you know what? This guy's selling this book for $10. It's only worth $8. I've never seen it though. What the hell? You know. And also, never look back. That's another thing I want to tell people out there. Very important. When you buy something, never look back because I've seen so many books that I've waited forever to get. Like, and I'm like, I'll wait for it to go down. I'll wait for it to go down, and then it would go up in price, and then it would go down a little bit, but then it would go up again. And I'm like, I'll wait. And I turn around and would get the book, like say a book for $20, and I'm like, all right, I'm happy. It was 75 before. I got it down to 20. That's cool. I'm gonna get it. And then I've seen like literally like the next day or 2 days later, the same exact book in the exact same shape for like $5, and I'm like, which that's another thing that'll drive you insane. So never look back when you buy something. Just be happy that you got it. It's like I said, it's your collection. Do what you want. Be happy with it, and that's the overall thing. I'm gonna let you go with this one. Is just be happy with what you have. Enjoy it. That's the point of the damn collection. Um, you get things that you remember as a kid that you used to have. Like I said, like I got the Charboy helmet. Things you look at like Ghostbusters figures, GI Joe, Mask, whatever, and you're like, hey, I had that when I was a kid. I wish I had it again. And you go out and buy it to enjoy it. Get the damn thing. If you're gonna make a display out of it, make a display out of it. But enjoy your collection. That's the real the sole goal of all these collections, like no matter what it is, toys, comics, shoes, which is interesting, books, stamps, cards, whatever. Enjoy your damn collection. Sit there and really take it in. I guarantee it. I'm myself included. I'm a victim of it, victim of myself. That there are books or whatever in your collection you haven't seen in a while. Go through them. Be like, oh man, I remember when I got that. It's fun. It really is. It sounds sick, but it's fun. Like when I was doing the new video on the cave, I was looking through books. I'm like, oh my god! It's like I forgot I had that. And I took it out. I read it. And I'm like, this was an awesome story. This was a great book. Or this was, when I was going through some boxes, which is another thing I want to throw in there. Pissed. I was going through boxes. I was like, oh, I remember this toy when I got this. I was going through a few boxes. Yeah, I know how. See how I jump around. But enjoy your collection. But I have lost so many boxes with so many good toys that I am so pissed off because I went through them, and it wasn't the original move down here that did it because I went through the whole thing in the list, and we all have all the boxes, and they were never opened, so I know it wasn't the moving company. So lucky them. Um, this stuff was probably stolen from my landlord's son before we even moved, before I packed things. Because in my cave, the old cave, I just had stacks of boxes, out there, and I had stacks of boxes inside, and that stuff I had from, like I said, from the '90s, and that I haven't opened because I've constantly moved around. I was looking at, I made a list of things that I knew I had, and I was trying to find them, and when I went through the boxes, I'm like, they're just gone. So they were stolen. Who knows when? My Thundercats Panthro I had, he was stolen. I can't find him. I still got a few boxes to go through. I'm hoping that they're in there, but I seriously doubt it because it looks like it's all glassware. But my Thundercats Panthro is gone. My Transformers Jetfire is gone. And they weren't in great shape. They were played with, and they were missing parts. Well, Panthro wasn't missing anything other than his nunchucks. But Jetfire, didn't have his weapon or anything. I just thought he was great when I got him as a kid. I'm missing, a lot. I'm missing so much stuff. A lot of GI Joe vehicles. I'm missing like a whole box of those. So many things. Battle Beasts. I'm missing a hell of a lot of Battle Beasts. I used to have like the seahorse, the kangaroo. All that stuff's gone, and I was just pissed. But then you got to look at the bright side, and that's why I'm. Like I said, probably should have left it before, but I'm gonna just throw it out there because I was pissed. You got to look at the bright side. Like I look at the collection of stuff I still have. A lot of things I still have from when I was a kid, and I'm happy with. And it does suck that my stuff was stolen, and a lot of things got thrown out, over my many moves. But it is another fun part to go on eBay or yard sales, and just like find something that you remember as a kid, and you're like, oh, that's awesome, I'm gonna get it. And it's like your inner child. It's kind of like, yay, woo, and that's the thing. Like, be happy with the collection, and look for stuff you had when you was a kid, when you was a kid, when you were a kid, because it'll make you feel good. Hey, that sounds weird, but it does. When I bought a friggin' dollar helmet just to complete my figure, and I'm like, yay! I was like, he's gonna look cool. I remember playing with him as a kid. He was one of my favorite one with the blowtorch because I had him. He was the first flamethrower character I had. And then I got barbecue down the line, but he was my first one, and I was pissed I didn't have all the stuff, but now I do. Anyway, this video is long enough and there's many parts. So if you take anything away from this, like I said, enjoy your collection, make it your own. Don't worry about the other guy or girl. Let them deal with their own collection. Focus on yours, and just have fun. Have fun with it. That's the whole thing. If you get stuff that makes you feel like a kid again, that's great. And if you're a kid and you're getting stuff because you think it's cool, that's great too. Keep the damn things alive. Keep it going. And yeah, if you like what you have seen, click the like button. If you don't like it, hit the down button. Whatever, comment away. I love getting comments and questions, all that stuff. It makes me happy. Puts a smile on my face. Gizmo will make appearances down the line. He's still recovering a little bit. He kind of got a little sick yesterday. I don't know if it's because he got worked up from the fire. I don't know. Maybe that gets him hot. I don't know. Maybe he thought we were going to barbecue him. I don't know. But so yeah, he's been a little under the weather still, but he's getting rid of it. He's kicking it off. He's sleeping now. So he will make appearances. I know I've been promising, and I told him, I was like, you got fans. They want to see you. And he's like, I got business. You know, I got to get better. Um, but yeah, and if you have friends, tell them about this show if you really like it, and subscribe or have them subscribe. And it's not the size of your cave that matters; it's what you have in it. And again, I can't mention this enough. Enjoy your collection. Go and take a look at it again. Go through it. You'll be thankful you did. You might find things you don't even remember you even had. That's the best part. Later, everyone.